Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Deb Sofield, and you're listening to my weekly podcast series called Encouragement for Your Life. Most of you know I'm a national speaker, trainer, and coach. I like to say I help people find their voice and learn to use it. I'm also a conference speaker on the topics of public speaking, presentation skills, how to deal with the media, and crisis communication. You can find my other presentations on my website. If your organization has an upcoming conference and you sit on the leadership team, please put my name in a hat to be a keynote speaker. You can learn more about me at my website, debsofield.com. I've got a number of books on the market. My best-selling book, Speak Without Fear, my latest book, Perfecting Your Platform, are both on Amazon and Audible. My series, Encouragement for Your Life, which is a compilation of these podcasts, they're available on Amazon. Just go to Amazon, type in my name, Deb Sofield, and all my books will appear. I've got a great theme today, and it's one even I struggle with, and I've entitled it, Do Not Rush. Stay with me. We'll get started in just a second. All right, it's a tough one. Do not rush. I know you're thinking, well, good luck with that, Deb. Here's the fact. Without a doubt, I think most of us feel we're on limited time. So to fill every minute of every day, live life to the fullest and overflowing, we rush. We rush from the moment our feet hit the floor in the morning to when we crash into bed at night. And then we do it all over again for the next 5 days. And then the weekend comes and we rush to fill every minute with fun and family and food and football. It just seems that most of our lives are structured. And while I understand the need to get things done, please allow me to make a suggestion for your amazing future. Friend, don't rush. When we were younger, we rushed to be old enough to drive, and then we rushed to go to work to make our own money. We rushed to finish school so we could rush into the world to make our way. We rushed to find someone to love and live life with. And we rush to have a family. And now we rush to find the perfect job until we have to rush to find another perfect job. And then we rush into retirement if we can afford it. And in retirement, we rush to do the things we couldn't do while we were working or had a young family. And then we keep on rushing until the end of our days. Yes, most of us rush. And no matter how many times we tell ourselves that we're going to slow down and take some time for friends and family and fun, we're good for about a long weekend or maybe even a vacation. And then we climb back onto that speeding train and hurry back into the lives of rushing to and fro because it just feels right to hustle until your haters ask if you're hiring. That's the American way. Now, I'm not going to admonish you and tell you not to rush because until you or your brain or body decides that's not a good idea, my words and warnings are, let's just admit it, a bit empty. But be aware, one day you will stop by choice or by necessity or by force. And then you will see how much you have missed while you were so busy rushing to save the world. I know it seems a bit ludicrous for me to ask you to slow down since I don't do that well myself, unless forced. I have had 2 knee surgeries. And yet, I know from experience that slowing down was good for my whole being, and it left me well rested and relaxed and mindful of what I have and who I am. As I close out the chapter of this 5-year endeavor of having a radio show every Saturday, from writing a weekly blog to producing a podcast, have to admit, I'm looking forward to slowing down and discovering what's next. While my mind has been ruminating over the many new opportunities that I can envision, I'm forcing myself to put on the brakes, seek out some advice, and sketch a plan before I begin again. As a speaker, my work is somewhat cyclical since most big conferences are not held during the holidays. So I have a natural workflow cycle that comes to a simmer while the holidays come and go. And then work and conferences and engagements pick up right after the new year. Have to admit, it took me quite a few years to adjust to the slower pace of the holidays. But now that I'm older, and I hope wiser, I actually consider it a blessing in my line of work to have a slow time, to rest, regroup, and recover before I begin again on trains, planes, and automobiles. As Americans, we rush. Not sure why that is, but it does seem to be part of our mental makeup to achieve the high level of success that we idolize and dream about. You know the phrase, early bird gets the worm, snooze and you lose, don't miss the boat, burn the midnight oil, and all the other idioms that we grew up with that pushed us towards the idea that hard work equals success. When I travel, primarily in the Middle East, I'm always amazed at how much time I spend in coffee shops in the middle of the afternoon with my colleagues. That being said, I am usually working until 8 or 9 until we go to dinner, only to start over the next day. But it's in those coffee shop siestas that I enjoy a different type of conversation with my clients as we bond over life and families and business. Many times my clients ask about the American mindset of work and reward. And it really is hard for them to understand our push for outward success at all cost. Yet, as I point out, in each country there's a different set of pressure to be seen as successful to others. Often I get pushback that outward success doesn't matter until I start asking about their nice clothes, home, car, vacation, and then it comes to light. I'm not sure why most of us don't do what we know is good for us, like slowing down and resting a bit. But we don't. And then we push ourselves to the next project and the next. I have a few friends who are about to retire and a few who have, and it is fascinating for me to watch them poke at the idea of slowing down and not rushing, since pretty soon there will be nothing for them to do. Now, I'm not saying they won't still work in another field or take up a new volunteer opportunity, but the concept of not rushing day to day is a whole new model for them to consider. Watching them in transition, one thing I've noticed, and I know it sounds odd, but how physically sick most of them become until their bodies completely unwind from the years of stress and worry that kept them tight and tied into knots. Sometimes it takes weeks and maybe months before I can see the loosening of time and schedules that begin to ease them into a different life. One which, after they get well again, begins to suit them nicely. If you put the phrase, "do not rush," into the subject line of your favorite search engine, the first few hits are don't rush into things, relationships, marriage, anything, love, any type of relationship. And I found that to be a funny list. True, but funny, because we're all cautioned not to rush into things that could cause a lifetime of pain. But while we are instructed not to rush into things, we more often than not ignore that advice and continue to rush in our lives. I'm fully aware that life is short, and if we're going to see the world and live life to full and overflowing, hey, we got to get going. While I agree, I just want to ask you to consider another option for the upcoming holiday season. You know that when you rush and hustle and hurry, you're going to miss some moments in life that could very well be the memories that sustain you in hard times. So friend, please heed my advice and slow down and watch and listen. Your loved ones want and need your attention. And in your make it perfect, spectacular mental image of being a super person, you're rushing to make it the best Halloween, the best Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and every other holiday ever. While in your hurry mode, you're doing what you think is expected. And listen, I'm sure it's appreciated. I would venture to say that slowing down to make time and memories in your hustle and hurry will be the life-lasting stories your friends and loved ones will talk about and carry with them longer than any costume, amazing turkey leg, overflowing stocking, or Happy New Year's party hat ever will. It's not easy to stop the train of activities until you fall sick into bed and become sick and tired and miserably uncomfortable because your body has said enough. So why not consider another option, which is slow down and chill, stay in and watch a movie, order pizza, play a board game, invite friends over to dinner. Maybe you can take your family to an event and make them talk to you, or sit in gentle silence that speaks volumes of your contentment with the life you have and the love you've been given. Friends, time will pass quickly enough, and your rushing days will soon be over, and then what? I love this quote. It's anonymous. The most beautiful things in life are not things. They're people, places, memories, and pictures. They're feelings and moments and smiles and laughter. Listen, I am speaking to myself as well as you today. I admit I am not good with slowing down because my plate in life is so full I can barely see over the top. But I do know that my posse needs to feel loved, connected, and valued. And I will leave some time, and I will leave things undone so that I can do what is needed and what I want to do. In the carved out time and space I willingly choose to give others. Good things take time. And while you have the time, I strongly encourage you to stop rushing, consider slowing down, and enjoy life. Collect memories, not just things. Focus on finding and healing yourself so you can be a full vessel to fill others. Trust the timing in your life. Wait for what you deserve. Don't settle. Be patient. Good things take time, and time is what it takes to make things amazing. Our friend, don't miss out on the journey because you are rushing to the destination. Remember that good things in life need time to grow, so don't rush. All right, you've been listening to Deb Sofield's encouragement for your life, and I know it seems like an odd theme today, but I found myself rushing a lot lately, and I get home and I'm exhausted, and then friends want to go out, and frankly, I want to be in bed by 8 o'clock. And, they're not happy when I have to leave the table. All that to say, I've had to change my ways. And I would like for you just to consider. That's all I'm asking. Just consider. And I hope you'll join me next week, and we'll continue these conversations that I believe are so important for all of us. And remember what I say now at the end of every show. I don't care what the world says about you. I want you to know that I care about you. I care about you because I believe that if you will slow down and rest, then the opportunity to do big things will come and you'll be ready. And I am looking forward to walking alongside you as we follow that dream together. Thanks for joining me. Take care, everybody. I'll see you next week.